entitled Soon to Be New. Reverend Louis.
Thank you, Reverend Michael, and good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And it is a good morning, isn't it? There's something so wonderful about spring. I've adjusted to that daylight savings time and had a little anger and angst for a couple of days, and then I got over it. I thought, harboring a negative is not going to make a positive out of it. So I thought, kick myself in the ash can and move on into life. So beautiful beings and wonderful ones, we're all gathered today to have a great celebration. And as I was visiting with people coming into the center this morning, and all of the food angels, I know that their wings worked overtime. They had these huge big pots and all this wonderful stuff. So if nothing else, we'll have a great lunch if we did. I'm anticipating that. What I have to share with you today is that you cannot create the future if you cling to your past. I've had a lot of soul searching the last few weeks and had an opportunity to move into that center state of consciousness, my interior space, my sanctuary, my sacred garden, so to speak. And your music this morning, Michael, that is so reflective, so wonderful. There's such a serenity from that, and that just went right along with the thoughts that I've been thinking. You know, our past may serve us with examples of what not to do, or examples of what to do as we move into the newness, this newness of spring, this newness of life. Friday of this week, we had the Ides of March, and today is St. Patrick's Day. And this coming Wednesday is the first day of spring. So we have all these wonderful opportunities for newness, to be aware of this newness, to celebrate this newness, all within a week, 5 days. How great it is that we're here to participate and be invigorated with this goodness. You know, there's significant occasions as these 3 great aware days that's happening right now. And what this brings to us is an opportunity to be in gratitude for the gifts that come to us, and know that every single day, Spirit has for us a richness and a blessing that she shares. So I wanted to claim it as mine, and I'm certainly that you will have the ability to claim it as yours as we move into this time of newness and refreshness. The Ides of March, the middle of the month. And, you know, you always hear the dog days of summer, and you hear all of these wonderful things. And what does that really mean? What are the Ides of March? What is it? What is it? Well, it's the middle of the month. It's an awareness. And Reverend Michael spoke of the bloom that we see. And certainly, by the hour, you see the trees change. And as we came into the center this morning, we arrived early, around 8 o'clock, and it looked like a snowstorm on those blooming trees in the front. There's something that's so perfect that nature has her way with us and brings all this newness to us. It carries the new bloom, the new leaf. And yes, we have those greater hours of daylight, which for a sunny kind of a fellow, I'm real happy about that. Mm-hmm. It makes it a special time to celebrate and allows us to come out and play. Winter's over. We can just cast aside what has been and look to what is new. Well, today is new. It's St. Paddy's Day. And my father forever called it the 17th of Ireland. It had nothing to do with his Irish background because there was 0 Irish in his heritage. He always spoke of the Italians as the Black Irish, and I never quite figured that out. For he and my grandmother always had this angst and this, what do I call it, moments of intense fellowship, I guess you would say. They didn't get along. He'd always say to her, he said, you know, Mary, you came from Italy, but you never left it. And I have to say that he was correct, because she always lived in that community that spoke Italian, that practiced all the holidays, that ate all the wonderful food, and she lived where she was comfortable. So whatever it was, it worked for her. And we know that St. Patty's Day is a religious holiday, a spiritual time. And it's certainly the day that in the Catholic Church that they celebrate this St. Patrick. And there's different and various forms of spiritual expression. I know that there's frivolity today, and later on, and I guess this morning I was going to come through the downtown, I'm sure they are lined up for green brew and all of that good stuff too. So there is a frivolity, there is an essence of happiness and celebrating, and a wee bit of Guinness along the way, I'm sure. They say it's spirit. And some spirit is within, and some is bottom. And then you can share, you can interchange. It works for all. Spring is a joyous recognition of the gifts and the beauty and the bounty that Mother Nature brings to us. And if you aren't aware of the change, just open the eye and you see the magnificence that's for us to enjoy. Spring is a grand time. It's a time to see, to reflect, to know, to honor, and to be a part of this newness. March and April and May, from the March equinox until the June solstice, is such a time of growth, a time of freshness and newness and bloom. It is that eternal knowing that we have these changes. And they're for us to enjoy. And I know that in that early time and of pagans and the cultures that they celebrated, in all of my early studies in becoming a minister, how they would encourage people to come and frolic and to have these wonderful times of celebration in the spring, to recognize this good, to recognize all that we're recognizing in a decent, non-pagan life that we share. Maybe that wasn't always the best, or maybe it wasn't always the worst, but it's different today. We celebrate as we choose. We celebrate and know that long ago they celebrated, and from the local news today, they celebrated, I think, today and tomorrow and yesterday, and you know, the culture is different. It's an awareness of St. Patrick's and the importance of spring ritual that we want to celebrate. And so we're all doing our thing. And I must say that that's okay with me. I'm of the opinion that it's a colorful, spiritual way to celebrate wherever you look, whatever you do, and wherever you go. As religious scientists, we are empowered with thought. We learn how to plant the thought and the fertile mind, the fertile soil of mind. We place that seed. We tend that thought with love and care and compassion so that we may grow our intelligence. We may grow our compassion and our love and our care. This simple, clear process, or it is to me, teaches me how to use the science of mind, how to use this teaching that we so generously love and appreciate here at the center. And on the good side, using these principles will neutralize any mental vegetation that we no longer need or want or have purpose for. Sort of like a mulch pile. Pitch it. We don't need it. Our Science of Mind textbook, written by Dr. Ernest Holmes, shares, turn as we may, we are confronted with the necessity of a trinity of being. Throughout the ages, this trinity has been taught. Every great religion and every great philosophy has taught a trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. It's a Christian trinity. And religious science, we paraphrase it as this: it is the thing, the way it works, and what it does. The thing is absolute intelligence, premier, top on. The way it works is absolute law. We believe in love and law, cause and effect. What it does is a result, it is a manifestation. Quite simple, as we process it and use it, it becomes the guide and the garden, the givingness of life for us to express from. Dr. Claudine Whittaker, who was a minister in Chicago for many, many years, expressed this, and it's so right on. Science of mind teaches us our experiences of health or sickness, of wealth or poverty, success or failure, fellowship or loneliness, happiness or unhappiness, are the harvest of the seed of thought that we ourselves are continually planting. And what we teach in this teaching and what we know as a divine truth is that whatever we tell ourselves, whatever we plant in the spiritual, rich mental soil that we have, whatever goes in there, we're going to harvest. And if we don't like it, we have the opportunity and the tools to make it that which we desire. And I would say all of us right today would like to have lots of blooms and lots of love and lots of good times, happiness, perfect health, and wellness. If we do not like the harvest, we must change the seed. And you know, if you plant a radish, you're not going to get a tomato. So we must be clear in what we plant in mind. Be very clear. For we cannot create the future if we cling to the past. Regardless of our past or present, we begin right here and now, right in this celebration this morning, to change the things that we do not like. We can change it and make our experience one of joy, one of happiness, one of fulfillment and goodness. It's up to us. We do not beseech an anthropomorphic spirit. We turn within. We have a mind. We use it. Newness abounds. We accept it and rejoice in that. On a personal note, I'm accepting a new way to feel on March the 26th. I'm choosing and accepting a hip replacement. It's a procedure to make my mobility and moving forward with great ease a desired gift. It came a little sooner on my bucket list than I anticipated, but as the days have worn on, I am now counting, so I have,